Hi friends, it's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, big welcome back. I'm glad you guys are here for another episode. So first things first, I have a finished object, kinda-ish, mostly. It's mostly finished. I'm calling it finished. I do need to weave in my ends, so you'll see these like really unpleasant ends hanging out. So I just need to weave those in, but this is the Flutterbutt shirt by Jessie Made Designs, and hopefully you'll be able to see it well. I did wear a tank top underneath it, and I do have a more like skin toned undergarments that I can wear with this too, which I think would be really good because it's very light colored. I went with, I think, about the length of the sleeves that it calls for. I may have gone an inch longer, if I'm remembering. I went a lot longer with the body. So this ruffle, the body ruffle, I should say, is, I'd say, a good 4 inches more than it calls for. So, and to give you an idea of where it falls, so like my belly button is kind of hidden because I have high-rise jeans on right now, but the belly button is like right about here, so I've got a good couple inches of length there. So it's extremely cropped, and I'm a rather petite person. When it comes to clothing, I can get away with wearing petite clothing sometimes, so just bear that in mind. If you are a taller torsoed person, you definitely probably want to add some length, unless you want it to be a super cropped shirt, which by all means, go, you do you. And it probably will be. It probably will be quite cropped. If you look at the photos, I think it's probably pretty accurate on Ravelry. The photos that go with the pattern by Jessie Made Designs, it's definitely really cropped on that model. So I'd say that's pretty accurate. I did not record last week, and I'm sorry about that, but I did kind of hint at the fact that we would probably be shearing the sheep, and that's what happened. So safe to say I was preparing for that and our home study, so I just did not have the time to do the recording. And I am bummed because I always enjoy that, but I have lots to share this week because of that. So we did get to shear the sheep. That is a spoiler alert. We did get to shear them, so we did get all 5 of them, and I'm so incredibly grateful to my family for coming and helping, because it's a lot of work, and I definitely owe it to them that we were able to like function the next day after 2 days of shearing. The first day we got 2 of them done. It took about 2 hours per sheep, and I'm also incredibly grateful, thank you Lord, that midge, so zebra midge is, I call her fly midge, I don't know why, zebra midge. They're named after fly lures and like fly fishing lures. And zebra midge, it did not do so well with shearing last year. She was all over the place, like a little goat jumping around, or like a bronco. I mean, just nuts. And this year, very different story. She was quite calm. It was amazing. And I'm so incredibly grateful to that, because that makes the process go so much smoother. So I did take some advice. I did actually have, well, for the most part, the sheep in the pasture are wandering around, so be it as it may, the sheep might not always see each other, but the sheep that were being shorn on the stand were, for the most part, facing out in the pasture, which we did last year, but we didn't necessarily face them towards the main part of the pasture, which means they could see like all the pasture. And I think it helped that they were able to see the other sheep quite a bit. And I don't know why I didn't think of that before, but because sheep are flock animals, they do not like to be by themselves. It makes them incredibly uncomfortable and anxious and depressed. So having her able to see them, hear them, I mean, she could hear them before, but like actually see them, I think that helped a lot too. Plus, she knew what to expect to an extent. Like, she knew it was going to happen. It was only 6 months ago that we had shorn them last time, so I think it really helps that we shear them twice a year. The other girls did really well with it too, and yeah, really, really good. So So grateful. So I have 5 more fleeces now to start processing. I'm not going to be cleaning them until it's definitely warmer, and we'll see. I'm debating whether I'm going to be cleaning fleeces until after Michigan Fiber Festival or before. It's hard because during the summer I always wash fleeces, so I probably will. I have a couple other really fun fleeces I was able to get my hands on, and yeah, I'm really excited about those. Again, those kind of probably won't be going in the shop soon, but you never know. I mean, I pick things that I'm excited about. And I do have some more like rustic wools. I love rustic wools, but then everybody has their tickle factor. I don't want to call it prickle factor. I want to call it tickle factor. So there are certain micron counts on wool that tend to tickle folks more than others. So if you have a sensitivity to certain microns, then some of those fleeces might not be for you, but they're going to be really neat. And it would challenge someone to make something interesting. Some of those fleeces might be geared more towards weavers. However, I do think that if you're someone who likes to make outer garments, things like that, I think there's going to be some fun stuff for you. Okay, and I'll show this as well. I don't think I showed this last week because I'm pretty sure that I just blocked it over the weekend. And this is Amanita. I just needed to spin up a little bit more of Amanita's first fleece for the cowl that I'm working on. So I did just spin up a little bit more of that. And I did a 3-ply chain ply on it. Such a beautiful oatmeal type color. She is, I think she's considered, I don't know if she's considered a fawn. Really pretty. That's the thing about Shetlands, they're tricky because they look one way as a baby, as a lamb, but as they age, their fleece changes. So it's quite interesting. It makes it really interesting, and it's hard to probably capture in this video, but the sheen on this is amazing. Their wool is so shiny, so pretty. I'd really like to make some socks with their wool, the Shetland. I have a little bit of a sock blend I'm working on, so keep an eye on that for in the shop end of things. If I can get some to Michigan Fiber Festival, I will. That would be the goal. All right, let's get into works in progress, shall we? Oh, and before, I don't think I mentioned, the Flutterbutt shirt was a lot of fun to knit. If you want a shirt that knits up relatively quickly, and you can make it varying weights, really. This is actually a lace weight, which is why it's a little translucent. It's not like, not as if I'd used a regular fingering, but it was a very fluffy lace weight. So it is a little translucent, but it's very light and airy. So I think this is actually going to be incredibly comfortable, even if it's hot, which hopefully it'll be like 80s. I hope it won't be 90. If it could be the low 80s, even the 70s, ooh, would that be a treat or what? That's my favorite. So I don't know. August is always tricky, but if we could get in the 80s or, like I said, 70s, like high 70s, that'd be good stuff. Okay. So I worked on quite a few things here. The one I was working on yesterday actually went to my first knit night. I'm really excited. Heather is actually the one who organized it, and she is up north from me. I live in Michigan, and she lives up north. And why did I say Heather? I don't know why I said Heather. Her name's Hillary. Oh my gosh. You guys, I can't even. Sometimes I question myself. Hillary. Oh my goodness. So Hillary, she coordinated the knit night, which is really fun. It was so nice to chat with others about knitting that love knitting and enjoy it so much and enjoy making all the good woolly or wool blends, acrylic. It was so much fun. And seeing their projects, what they've been up to, One of the ladies, she made this super cute little dog sweater. I would love to do that for one of our dogs. Just, it was so cute. I know one of our dogs, Maverick, he's a mini Aussie, and he would not put up with it. But I bet I could get Chester to put up with it. He'd be so cute, little sweater on him. Yeah, I think that would be so much fun. But it was lovely. It was so lovely, and we spent a good, probably almost an hour and a half chatting. I totally skipped out on dinner until like practically 9:30 at night. It was so late. But I really appreciate that my husband put up with it too, because I was like, oh shoot, I am so late. He ate before me, which is fine. But I just did not realize I was going to be so behind. But it was so lovely, and I could just chatted for hours. So it was really nice. And let's see here. So I was working on my jaunty shawl by Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits, and it's using my Advent, my Multifarious Nature handspun Advent, and Lair the Llama Cat's beautiful colorway. It's called Hint of the Holidays. I think it's Hint of the Holidays. It's so pretty, and just absolutely lovely. Apparently Chester likes it too, because he was chewing on it prior to this recording. I told him we do not chew on knitting, and we do not chew on wool because he was going after my knitting. He decided to go after a little mini bat that I was playing around with, and he was trying to gnaw on that. Like, dude, you don't eat the wool. Just don't eat it. So I'm still just starting to get a little bit more on the Clun Forest and cruising on that. If I really focused on this, I think I could get it done by the end of next week, which would be really good. We were talking about that in at night. It's like, if you focus on one project, you can actually really accomplish a lot. The struggle is I do bounce from project to project, because this is a great one to work on while I'm chatting with people, watching a movie. I don't have to think about it that much. So I really enjoy it. But then there's other projects I'll show you here, and they take a little bit more focus, just a little bit though. This one is just the same stitches, cruising until you get to the middle, and then you just do it different. You do decrease, and then you're cruising. It's absolutely lovely. It's so, you just want to keep doing it. You just want to keep doing it. So yes, definitely enjoying that. And yeah, I look forward to it. So Thursday nights is our knit night. So it's a lot of fun. If you are interested in joining our knit night, it's at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Now, I'd have to ask Hillary, because it might just be specific to folks in Michigan. But it's always worth asking. So if you are interested, definitely let me know, and I can reach out to her and see if she can send you a link. It's on Discord, so I don't know if you're on Discord. I'm still learning all about Discord. There's so many things you can do on there, but it's a lot of fun. Okay, so the next project that, let's see, I started working on again, and I did quite a bit of work on it last week, is a oldie but a goodie. I started this in October. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess? You're right. If you guessed the Mystery Musicale shawl by Stephen West, that is correct. So this is using some of my hand-dyed colorways. This would be another sample. And it has quite a few colors here. So I've got, it is so dark. Here, I'm going to turn my light up. It's weird because it's so sunny, but I think the sun is in just the right spot that it's kind of dark in here. Okay. I have to turn this up. I will. Okay. I'm kind of mid-row-ish, but this is the Mystery Musicale, and I've got my, I did all of the section 3 3 now, almost. Take that back. I'm just finishing up section 3. So I finished this portion of section 3, and then there's another portion that is a little different that I'm just starting. But these have all my hand dyed. This is Autumn Kiss, Nightshade, Hunter's Moon, all a bunch of Hocus Pocus. And then what I did, because Stephen West likes to have a little bit of fun fluff thrown in, so hopefully you can see this, but like every 3 of these chevron type things, shapes, I did add the alpaca in of that same colorway, the Hunter's Moon, so it adds some cool dimension and texture. I really like that. That's really fun. And I love how they turned out. So this is like, I think it's considered modular knitting, where you knit like with a color and then you break the yarn and then you knit with the other and you keep going. The good and bad of it is that it looks really cool, but on the back, if you're not good about weaving your ends in, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is a obscene amount of ends to weave in. So I have seen some folks like braid the ends on the back. I'm trying to do like the weave in method as you weave in as you're knitting. I'm trying to do that, but I've been horrible about it on some of this. So I will probably be regretting that later, but that's okay, you know, learning curve. It's a lot of fun. It's a very involved pattern. I think, so the first section's not bad, but it's very involved. Like this takes a lot of focus. These, what did he call them? Not shells, but I don't know. But there's welts in there, which is really kind of a neat technique. And then this section I really enjoyed. This like wavy section down here. That was a lot of fun. And it has a little bit of lace type stuff going on, and yeah, that was fun. And then when we got over to this part, it was easy to start learning what you're doing once you get into it. And that went pretty quickly as well. So the next section I think is going to be very rhythmic. And then the last part of the 3rd section. And then the 4th section is going to be like brioche, which I love brioche. I love, love, love it. It's so wonderful. It's just fun. It feels good to do. So I'm excited to get to that portion, because I feel like once I get to brioche, it'll be much more intuitive again, and then I won't have to think about it so much. But I hope you guys can see that well. I think when I turn it like this, it gets lit better. But yes, it's super, super fun. I highly recommend it if you want to just have fun with color. So yes, Stephen West patterns are fun, and they can be very out there. You can definitely use neutral colors or monochromatic. So what I mean by monochromatic is like all the same color family. So if it's let's say purple's your favorite color. That's my favorite color. If purple's your favorite color, then you would do varying shades of purple or varying colors of purple, and it makes it look more cohesive and not as harsh, where this has some serious contrast going on when you have the Autumn Kiss, which is this really vibrant, no, I can see it on the back, but not on the front, this colorway here. Autumn Kiss is this super vibrant color here, and then against the Nightshade, which is that really deep, deep purple. Yeah, which I absolutely love that colorway. It has a nice high contrast, but you can totally do that with the same color family, and then that might be more wearable for you. So I highly recommend his patterns if you want to have a huge shawl that's just fun. It has lots of fun techniques that you can learn and lots of fun patterns to do. And he has some that are more cohesive all the way across, like there might be short row shaping and lace work, which is really beautiful. Or you can get something like this where you have a lot going on and keeps it interesting. His mystery knit-alongs tend to be more like that, where there's like tons of different textures and really interesting. Another one of his that I've done, I'll show you. It's right over here. I just want to make sure I don't step on one of my knitting needles because that would be bad. Okay. Here, it's like buried under my shawl wall here. Here we go. This is, what is the name of it? The Shawlography, I think. I think it's the Shawlography. So this is one of his mystery knit-alongs that I did 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Actually, it was like 3 years ago because I was at our old house, I think, when I started this. So, pretty sure. And I love it. It's so beautiful. I do like to wear this quite a bit, and especially in the fall. It's very much fall oriented. This is also using some of my colorways, mainly my colorways. I think there's one color, it's a white in here that is not one of my colorways, but the rest are. And it's just really beautiful. And it reminds me of Thanksgiving and fall. It's really, really gorgeous. So I do highly recommend it. You can make things that are a little more cohesive if you want. And it's just a really fun way to play with color, especially if you feel like you're in a little bit of a creative rut. Stephen West. That individual, he does not have a color rut. Like, he's just all about color. So super fun and love it. It's just, I love it. So anyway, that is my, oh my gosh, the yarn is gonna get so tangled. That is my mystery knit-along. Okay, it's not a mystery anymore. You can totally buy it now, but in October, the way he does it is he releases it like once a week. He releases a portion, like a section of the pattern. So it's really fun. That first one I did do with the mystery knit-along, where the mystery musicale I started late. It was still during that knit-along, but it was so late to the game. All right, so back to another work in progress. This is the name right here, the Leerdam cowl. Leerdam cowl. That's how you say it. So I did do some progress on that. Got a little bit more of my linen stitch going. So I finished up. Hopefully you guys can see this. Finished up this like kind of a chevron pattern. It's gonna be so hard to see it right now, but I finished that up, and now I am going into this linen stitch. I'm almost done with the linen stitch, and then I'll be going on to the next section. I would have worked on this during our knit night. However, I knew I was switching to a different section, and I have to read and figure out what I was doing, and I didn't want to think about that. I wanted to chat. So, but that's using Amanita's beautiful wool. So this is the one that I spun a little bit more up, because I think I'm going to need a little bit more based on what the cowl called for. I was actually shocked how much it calls for. The yardage, bear with the crinkling of the paper, but the yardage on this bad boy is like, it's 720 yards, which is pretty significant. Let's see. Yeah, a fingering weight yarn. So, wild. But the way this is constructed, you knit, basically you're knitting it sideways, if you want to think about it like that. You're making a really long tube, and you have provisional, excuse me, provisional cast on. Pardon. Provisional cast on. And once you get your tube done with all the patterning and everything, it comes around, and then you attach it and you bind off on the provisional cast on, and then you'll have this really beautiful, neutral, woolly wool cowl. Very excited because the way this is made, it's going to be basically double thickness because it's a tube. So it should be very cozy warm. And I do like cowls. It's funny. I make tons of shawls, and I love my shawls. But when it comes to doing chores, cowls are where it's at. I'll wear shawls during my chores, but then without a fail, one of the ends that I put behind me will flop forward, and then when the sheep will start trying to chew on it, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, what are you doing? And with a cowl, that doesn't happen. It stays around your neck and it keeps you cozy warm. So I'm excited. I think it's fun because I'm using their wool. Every time I play with the sheep's wool, it is pretty comical because they sniff each other. They don't recognize each other after you shear them. And if you're wearing their wool at all, they just, I mean, I have to preface this. I've never worn their wool, but like if I am holding their wool or anything, they sniff it, they try to headbutt it, like not aggressively, but it is really funny because they like recognize that wool as a different sheep. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Sheep are fascinating creatures. Talked about that a little last week or 2 weeks ago. Anyway, so that is that one. And we talked about like project bags in our knit night, and I guess I could talk a little bit about my project bags here just because it's fun. I like project bags. I don't really collect them, but I do have a collection. So this one is kind of comical that I'm using it still, but the project was in it, and so I'm still using it. But Stephen West's project is in this one. It has pumpkins on it. I am debating actually switching it out because even though this is beautiful, I want to look at summery spring things, and this makes me think of fall. And I don't want fall right now. So I think I might switch that into a different project bag since I just started working on that again. And then my jaunty shawl is in this one. Again, another fall-oriented bag. This is a linen bag made by Seams by Sarah. She actually designs clothing and makes beautiful one-of-a-kind clothing. She'll upcycle vintage items. Really neat. Seams by Sarah. You should definitely check her out. And I bought this at one of her shows that she was at. She had a couple bags that she had made. And I'm like, that is awesome. So I have this one, and I do have another one that's a little bit more spring-oriented, which I actually had this shirt in. And now that I'm done with this, I think I'm going to put my jaunty in that one. And then this one, I cannot for the life of me remember the designer's name. And unfortunately, they don't have a tag in here. That's really a sad situation because my memory is not the best when it comes to things sometimes, but I wish it had a tag in it because I absolutely love this bag. And I think I only bought one. No, I didn't. That's just kidding. I bought 2 bags from her, and I think she has an online store, but she uses vintage quilts, and so that's what this is. And it looks very spring oriented. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorites. And this has that little cowl in there. So I like that a lot. Very, very spring-like. It has this beautiful lining fabric in here too. So she does a beautiful job, and the other bag I have is a little more fall oriented. So I really like having bags that are kind of to the season. So I'm going to switch out those 2 bags to spring bags because I really just like to focus on the warmer temperatures, the life of all the flowers coming up, instead of, even though this is quite beautiful, it reminds me of fall, and I love using this for like Christmas time. So I'm going to switch that out. All right. Whew. There's that. I feel like I just threw a bunch at you guys. What are you up to? What are you working on? Love to hear what you're up to. Yeah, what kind of projects you're working on. I'm sure you guys are starting to work on a lot of spring-oriented things now, or maybe you're a hardcore sweater knitter. There's nothing wrong with that. If you are, I'd love to see what you're working on. One of the ladies last night made this beautiful vest that had tons of gorgeous cabling on it, and it had me thinking, I'm going to put this out in the universe, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. I'd like to. I would really like to. And I would really like to do it with our girls' wool, some Shetland wool, because it's incredibly warm and durable. I would really like to make a Hohi Locatelli, her cardigan. What is it called again? I made it for, here, I'm gonna look it up because I made it as a commission piece a while back. Bear with me. I will find it. I have it on my Ravelry. And I told myself I would never make another one. Not because I don't want to, because it's absolutely beautiful, but because it takes an extreme amount of concentration, focus. But I have to remind myself, when I made that cardigan, it was, my gosh, like 4 years ago, maybe. And that's why I say never on your projects, because I want to say it was about 4 years ago. And all right, patterns. I absolutely love it so much. So I'm just going to go into mine. Bear with me here. I don't think I put it in my projects, which I should. Oh, getting there, guys. I'm getting there. If you're still with me, thank you. I did not put it in there. That was a shame. I really need to put that in there. It is a beautiful pattern. It is one that I have had someone who bought yarn from me tell me she was going to make 2 of them. And I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked that she was making 2 of them, because it is very involved. Library, here we go. Let's see, Hoki. And I feel like it's one of her iconic patterns. It's absolutely stunning. There it is. All of the Lights cardigan. Don't know why I couldn't think of that. It's absolutely stunning. It really is. And I made it as a commission piece. I told myself I would never do it again, because it's not just a cardigan. This is a long cardigan. This is not one that's like cropped. This is one that, I mean, there is some length to it. Look it up. All the Lights cardigan by Hoki Locatelli. It's absolutely stunning. And if you go to it, let me see if I go to that pattern. Oh, all the lights. So this tells me something, because when was this written? Yeah, okay, 2019. So Hoki Locatelli is a pretty well-known designer. She has patterns that have been knit by thousands of people. And this one has been knit by 832 people. That's still a lot of people. Like there's 832 projects out there. But what I'm getting at is that people realize that it's a significant project, and it takes up quite a bit of time. So it's a DK weight. I did fingering held double to get DK. That's what I did. I used my beautiful scarlet colorway is what I did. So it was a deep red. It's stunning. And I want to make one. I do. I would really like one. But then I think to myself, I would love to make one with handspun. I think that would be amazing to do a 2-ply and make it with all those cables. And the Shetland, it's so durable. Like I think that it would just be absolutely beautiful. But and it would be nice and neutral, so I could wear it with a bunch of things. But that would be a lot of yarn. So to spin, I would need, as small is 1,462 yards. So yeah, I'd probably be doing like medium large based on like the bust size and everything. I'm guessing I would do a medium large. I really should look at what that would be. She's really good. This has like a shoulder span and everything. The bust circumference, the size medium large should fit nicely. The extra large actually would give me some nice ease if I wanted to do that, which being a cardigan like that, I would like to have some extra ease. It does say about 8 inches of positive ease would be recommended, And in order to get that kind of positive ease, I would need to do the size XL to be able to get that nice 8-inch positive ease. And yeah, I'll have to think about that. That would be a lot, you guys. That would be a lot of knitting again, and but it's just stunning. Look it up, please look it up. It's All the Lights cardigan by Joji Locatelli. I feel like if you're looking for a project for a knitting group, and now obviously it's a lot for everybody to take on, and it's not a project that would be like short term. It would be a long-term project, but I feel like that would be a really good one to do with a knitting group, because you can help motivate each other, you know, keep each other going, because it is very involved. I do remember messing up at least twice and having to rip back quite a bit. And that is so stressful when it comes to there's like so much cabling and lace work. The more I think about it, I'm like, do I really want to knit another one? I don't know. Oh, what? Maybe. I don't know. I think I would like to knit another one. But the other one I would like to make another cardigan of is the Kingston cardigan by, is her name? Taylor E. Owen. She has the Kingston cardigan, is an incredibly well-fitting garment. It fits so well. I test knit that, and yeah, I really like it. It fits so well. So that would be another one that I think doing hand spun would be great. And that's a smaller one, so that would be faster. And it just has this really sweet cabling on the raglan instead of cables all over the body. We'll see, you guys. If I cast that on sometime, you'll know I lost my mind. All right, before my mic dies on me and I ramble on way too long, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here, but I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I look forward to chatting with you soon. Take care. Bye.